Hi teacher, I hope you're doing great. I'm going to show you my code. So before we start, I need to clarify something because I couldn't do my code in Eclipse, so I decided to do it in Replit. And this happened because in the process that I was making the code, my computers started failing. I had two computers, but they were both really old and really slow. So the first one just basically stopped working. It doesn't even start anymore. And the second one, it's really slow and it's really. I can use it. The mouse doesn't work. It's no, no. So basically, what I did was I used my mom's computer, which is the one that I'm using right now, and I tried to download Eclipse, and it was a little bit complicated, to be honest. I rather using this Replit because someone noticed that I was really stressed about it and recommended to me. So I used Replit and I actually feel much more comfortable using Replit than I did using Eclipse. It is in Python anyways, which I think it's the important part, so I hope it's not an issue. Okay, teachers, so basically what my code does is a homosexual test and the or a sexual orientation test. There are 8 questions, and basically what my code does is that it's going to ask you these 8 questions, and depending of the number of yes or the number of no's that you have in the answers, it gets a conclusion about whether you are homosexual or you are heterosexual. Okay, so I'm going to explain the code right now. First of all, what I did was I put all of the questions of the test in here inside a list. So as you can see here, I have the 2 braces of the list, and basically what I did was I separated the questions using commas so that they would work as individual questions. Okay, so then we have these answers list, but it is empty because we don't have the answers yet, because the person who is running the code is going to have to put the answers. The next thing I did are these prints. I'm going to run the code now so you can see them. Okay, so these are the prints. So print, welcome to the homosexual Python test. And you're going to be asked 10 questions. This is basically just the introduction to my test, and it explains how it works. Please, when a question is displayed, just press Y and enter. Y means yes and means no. And press it until the end. Okay, so these are normal just prints that I use so that the text will show up in here. Normal prints, and also this one has something special, and it's this /n. This is basically for aesthetic purposes, so that this wouldn't look like a whole line, like a whole long line, and it looks like it's like enter, like when you put enter in Word. I don't know how to explain it. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Also, I have these empty prints, and I did them also for aesthetic purposes. As you can see here, I have these empty spaces between the lines, and that's what those empty prints mean. Okay, so the next thing I did was this. Here comes the interesting part, and I used this for questions. These questions, it's a variable that we know from up there, and this question is just a normal variable. It doesn't matter what word it is. So this for, what it does, it makes the process repeat. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So basically, the process is, it asks a question, it waits for the person to answer, and then it asks another question, it waits for the answer, asks another question, waits for the answer. So that's the process, and it makes it repeat. So inside this for, we have this answer equal input. Basically what this input does is that it waits for the person to enter the answer so that it can continue. So yeah, basically that's what it is. And also this empty print, as I said before, it's just for aesthetic purposes. And next we have this print also for aesthetic purposes. And we have this print. Okay, the results. I'm going to run the code now so you can see it. Okay, so do you have a positive opinion about homosexual people? I'm going to put Y from yes and enter. Do you have a positive feeling when you see couples of the same sex? Yes, enter. Would you be willing to kiss a person of the same sex? I'm going to put yes again. Have you ever been attracted to someone of the same sex? Yes. Have you ever been romantically involved with someone of the same sex? I'm going to put N, which means no, obviously. And oh wait, okay. So here, have you felt sexual desire towards a person of the same sex? I'm going to put N. Here, would you be willing to begin a loving relationship with a person of the same sex? I'm going to put yes. Enter. Would you be willing to have sexual relationships with someone of the same sex? Yes. So here are the results. So here it's the print. Okay, these are the results. This is what is shown in the screen. And here is the important part. Okay, so here are the results of my test. Say that looks like you're homosexual. Congratulations. It's also the print that appears here. So this is also an important part, and it's yes, equal answers count. So basically what this count does is that it counts the number of Y's or of yes answers that you gave, and depending on the number of answers or of Y's that it counted, we use this if then. So if we count the number of Y's and the number of Y's is equal or less than 6, then it should show this message in the screen. Looks like you're homosexual, congratulations. And else, which is connected with if, basically if your answer 6 or less number of yes answers, then it's going to show this message with its print. Looks like you're not homosexual. And yes, teacher, that was basically my whole code. I hope you like it. I hope you don't mind it's not in Eclipse. And yes, I put a lot of effort. This was a little bit stressing for me, but I managed to get it done. So I hope you liked it, teacher. And yes, have a nice day, and I wish you the best. Bye, teacher.